motivation to pass on to you. And I do want there to be some things that you leave here with that lift your spirits. Being a person who cares is heavy. So heavy that sometimes we find ourselves holding our breath for so long, we don't even realize that we're no longer underwater. You could be the person that just swiped right or swiped left, or whatever you gotta do to find somebody new on the dating apps. And the person that you found, you went on a couple dates and they're just too perfect. And you're waiting on the red flag to get to waving so you can wave goodbye. You can't let yourself let go and have a good time quite yet. You're so worried about what has happened before that you don't want it to happen again. Or maybe it's Saturday night and you could be at a gala or a gala, however you pronounce it, having a good time, but you mad that they didn't let you off for Columbus Day on Monday. So you're thinking about whether or not you should call out on Monday because you're mad right now. Let go and have fun tonight. Or it could be finances. Maybe you're the type of person whose bills are paid, you got some money in the savings, but you won't let yourself go and have a good time or do something extra for yourself because you're worried that your left ear started itching yesterday. So either that means somebody's pregnant or a new bill is about to be born. Whatever it might be for you that is not allowing you to reach the heights of your happiness, this is for you. Dear Queen, that might just think the world's against you and it's difficult for you to see the greatness that's within you. I do. I see greatness deep inside you. If I'm here for nothing else, then I've been sent here to remind you that what I see on the other side of your eyes is something better than contacts, weaves, and other disguises. I see a queen in the making. I see a world for the taking. I see so much in your soul that my palms are shaking, my God. Dear King, that might just think the world's against you and it's difficult for you to see the greatness that's within you. Well, I do. I see greatness deep inside you. If I'm here for nothing else, then I've been sent here to remind you that what I see on the other side of your eyes is something better than Jordans, Gucci belts, and disguises. I see a king in the making. I see a world for the taking. I see so much in your soul that my palms are shaking, my God. You sent this royalty to lend me their ears. My hope is not to ease the pain that they've endured through the years. Rather, I want to show them how to use it on a rocket-fueled ship so when they blast off, they spark a revolution. Spark a revolution when you blast off. 1,000 queens can see themselves when you illuminate dark. Spark a revolution when you blast off. 1,000 kings can see themselves when you illuminate dark. Dear Queen, that might just think the world neglects, and since I've not been through what you've been through, I mean no disrespect, but speak what you seek till you see what you spoke. If I'm here for nothing else, then it's for giving you hope. Dear King, that might just think the world neglects, and since I've not been through what you've been through, I mean no disrespect, but speak what you seek till you see what you spoke. If I'm here for nothing else, then it's for giving you hope. Hold on, don't let go of that rope. This is your chance for emancipation from things leaving you broke, in, down, and out. Count on me if you need to, but do not disregard your self-reliance, because indeed it's true that you are smart, you are kind, you are more than you think. You're the proof that's inside the pudding when I'm calling you queen. You are smart. You are kind. You are more than you think. You are the proof that's inside the pudding when I'm calling you king. Good evening, everybody. My name is Austin James. Like I said, I don't want to stay before you long. I do want you to leave with a couple tenets. Because I understand that when you hold your breath for too long, you need resuscitation. When you find yourself as a person that cares, you find yourself in moments where your heart is pitter-pattering just a little bit faster than it should because you care about something or somebody. And I want you to remember 3 simple letters. C-P-R. PR. It stands for critique, process, reflect. If you have a cell phone, text that to the first person you think of, and then you can explain it to them later. Critique, process, reflect. If you can apply these things to anything it is that you do, critique, process, reflect, you can raise your value in anything it is that you do. What I mean by raising your value is I break down a $40,000 salary that a teacher might make in 10 months. Working about 10 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 months, that value breaks down to somewhere between $20 and $22 per hour. Every single thing that they do to decrease the amount of time that they have to give to that job raises their value. If I work less hours and make the same amount of money, I am literally more valuable. So whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that your passion is, whatever it is that you put forth effort in, I want you to leave here as somebody that is more valuable. CPR, critique, process, reflect. I learned a valuable lesson in critique a long time ago. What I mean by critique is receiving some type of advice to make whatever it is that you do better. Sometimes it might come from your wife. Sometimes it might come from your spouse, because we're in 2019, your spouse might be different. But whatever it is, they give you feedback that pushes you outside your comfort zone. And whether or not your brain is prepared to accept that criticism is vital to making yourself more effective and raising your value. A long time ago, I started a job as an assistant manager at one of the best restaurants and bars in Boston, Massachusetts. And on my very first weekend there, we had a training in the church right next door to the restaurant and bar. And the training was going on, and inside the room right next to the training was some type of meeting that was going on that was extremely loud. They were laughing and having a great time. It didn't sound like bad noise, but it was louder than the presenter that was inside my room. I'm the new assistant manager, so I went and knocked on the door. They said, come in. I walked into a bunch of smiling faces. And I said, excuse me, I don't mean any harm, but we're trying to have a training next door. And I know you guys are having a good time, and I don't want to ruin your good time because it sounds good. But every time you laugh, we can't hear our presenter. Could you please just bring the noise down just a little bit? And they looked me in the face and said, no problem. We can be quieter for you in your meeting. I said, wow, oh, that worked just great. No problem. Thank you so much, man. Closed the door, we finished our training, everything was great. A couple hours later, I was on my shift at the restaurant, sitting at the front desk, and my boss walked up with a smile on his face. His name was Luther Pickney. And he came to the counter, rested his arm on the counter and said, so, you had a good time in training? Yes, sir, I did. So you had the audacity to walk into the Pastor Aid's meeting at the church where I have gone to my whole life and tell the pastor and every high-ranking official of that church that has welcomed us into their church to do this training, you went inside their meeting and told them to be quiet? Sir, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. What can I do to make it better? I didn't offer a whole bunch of excuses. I immediately apologized and asked what I could do better. And it wasn't until several hours later that I realized the depth of my decision. My boss came to me and thanked me for not giving any excuses. He had came prepared to let me go for being disrespectful. He had came prepared to toss out this fire before it became bigger. That was my first day. There's no need to continue to make things better for somebody that doesn't realize the errors of their ways. But because I came off and said immediately, I am sorry, what can I do? He said, you are somebody that is teachable. And from that day forward, I take things with a grain of salt and a bit of seriousness. If somebody gives me critique, my first response is to not be aggressive, because 9 times out of 10, the reason why we're getting upset is because our toes are getting stepped on. The reason why we're getting upset is because we're moved to an action that puts us outside of our comfort zone. Critique. Where is your mindset right this moment for receiving criticism? I'm not saying this in a bad place, and I'm not saying this in a great place. What I'm saying is simply think about it. Simply think about how receptive you are currently to criticism. And if you increase your aptitude to being receptive of criticism, you will raise your value. Second, process. And it's very simple. Process. What are you doing to make the things that you are regularly held responsible for easier to do? How can you make your life easier? I teach 7th grade English. If you come over to my table right now and my cell phone isn't dead, I can pull up an Excel spreadsheet that has the dates, the name, the number of the school day that we're in, then a third column that has the exact name of my lesson. And if you click on the lesson, it takes you to an exact hyperlink of all of my lessons. Every single one of my lessons for every day of the school year. For the year. I'm not lesson planning this weekend. I'm at a Gala or a Gala, however you pronounce it. Because everything that I have to do and be responsible for as far as teaching is already on autopilot. So when my friend that I've known for a long time, or my auntie or somebody passes away, I can take time to grieve. I'm on autopilot with everything else, so I can take time to deal with the stuff that's coming up, because what I know I'm held responsible for is already on autopilot. You know you got bills next month. Put it on auto pay. Your car note is not changing. Why are you still transferring? Put it on auto pay. You know how much gas you use next week. Multiply it by 4 and set that to the side for next month. Go ahead and do it now. That way you don't have to worry about where your gas money is coming from. Put it on autopilot. And again, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job of it right now. All I'm asking you to do is to analyze your current processes. And if there's anything you can do to take 5 minutes off of it, 10 minutes off of it, 30 minutes off of it, you are raising your value. CPR. The last one is to reflect. Are you reflecting on your actions of last week, the week before that? What we often do is find ourselves polarizing ourselves in our reflection. Sometimes we are hyper negative. We only focus on the things we need to fix. We only focus on the things we're doing wrong, the things that are not going well. Sometimes we are delusional and we are only focusing on the things that are going right. And we're only focusing on the things that we are doing well. I'm asking you to assess wherever it is that you are in your personal reflection and find yourself somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in between worrying about what didn't go right and thinking about what didn't go right. And celebrating your victories, because you should. You deserve ice cream on a Thursday. You deserve Starbucks coffee once a week, maybe twice. But if you are doing things wrong, fix them. If you're doing things well, celebrate them. But don't be delusional and don't be overly pessimistic. All I'm asking you to do is reflect on your actions. Keep doing the things that are working well and fix the things that aren't. Now, if you need help with that, count on me if you need to, but do not disregard your self-reliance, because indeed it's true. So if you do need assistance with creating some systems for giving feedback and to receive feedback, processes. If you need assistance in creating processes that make your life more fine-tuned, count on me if you need to. And if you need tools for creating proper reflection, count on me if you need to. But do not disregard your self-reliance, because indeed it's true that you are smart, you are kind, you are more than you think. You are the proof that's inside the pudding when I'm calling you king. You are smart, you are kind, you are more than you think. You are the proof that's inside the pudding when I'm calling you queen. CPR, critique, process, reflect. Good evening.